Good Day Alabama has all the information you need to plan the day ahead.
That's why we're in your neighborhood every morning, making sure you're prepared. When you hit the roads, we're on your side, helping you get to your destination on time and getting you back to your routine.
With everything you need to keep you and your family safe.
Trust your day with the largest morning team on your side.
So you can have a
Good day, Alabama!
When we say grow with Gray, we mean Gray gets you where you want to go. Cover the nation's biggest events, create award-winning content, and tell stories that matter to your community. Plus, world-class training, the best benefits in the business, and a culture that puts employees first. So get noticed, get going, and start growing. Grow with Gray.
Back with a bang, another NABJ convention kicks off today in Birmingham. Organizers are calling it one of the biggest so far. We'll tell you what attendees are saying about the conference.
Plus, a change of guard as Dorothy Tucker's reign as president of NABJ comes to an end. Who takes charge? Our team of reporters are interviewing the candidates looking to take her place. We'll introduce you to them next.
And a Brookings Institute study says Birmingham is one of the toughest places for Black business owners to get started. We'll introduce you to an initiative that's trying to beat that trend. NABJ News starts right now.
You're looking live at the NABJ 2023 convention opening ceremony happening right now here in Birmingham. It's day one, and as you can see, we've got a big crowd excited to get this convention underway.
We have reporters from across the convention that we'll get to in a moment, but first, we'll want to get to some breaking news out of Washington, D.C. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kayla Cade.
And I'm Charlene Richards. Welcome to NABJ News. We start with breaking news, some tense moments at the U.S. Capitol. Senate staff were told to hide and turn off their phones after reports of a possible active shooter.
Capitol Police evacuating the Senate office building, but D.C. Metro Police say it was a bad call.
We found nothing concerning. We've got nobody that actually heard shots, and certainly no victims. As we've gone through the building, no one has said that they've seen anything.
A spokesperson for the Metropolitan Police Department said they are, quote, unable to substantiate the call.
Lawmakers are out of Washington on their August recess.
For the first time in almost 50 years of the organization, the NABJ convention is in Birmingham, Alabama, a critical place in the history of the civil rights movement. And the NABJ convention is the biggest gathering of minority journalists nationwide.
It's a great opportunity for participants to grow in their career, network, and for some to get a job on the spot. The convention starts right now with an opening ceremony. Reporter Christina Norris kicking things off just outside of the reception. Christina?
Hello, and I'm Christina Norris, and welcome to the NABJ 2023 opening reception. As you all can see, the building is packed and beautiful, especially this ballroom that we're in right now. Right now, we are honoring journalists by giving out journalist awards, and it is just a glorious sight to see. Everyone is really eager to be here. As a matter of fact, here's one NABJ member's reaction to the opening reception. So, I want you all to get a sneak peek here. So.
All right, just a few housekeeping notes now. I have so much fun up here. I know. Can you guys tell? Here. That's right. That's what you're telling them where to go for the reception.
Yeah, we're going to do that right across the way at the BJCC at East Ballrooms A and B.
All right, so that's just a sneak peek. Stay tuned so I can tell you all of the details later on what exactly is going down during this opening reception.
We know many of you traveled from across the country to visit the NABJ convention. It's possible you may not all be used to the heat.
Today, temperatures top 90 degrees with pretty significant humidity too. Let's go to our meteorologist, Carlton Wiggins, for a look at what we can expect for the rest of the week and some tips on beating the heat. Carlton?
Hi there, NABJ. Yeah, Kayla and Charlene, it is going to be a nice night tonight. It's going to be going from mid 80s all the way down to about the high 70s, heading towards the late night. And it's not going to be too bad. It's going to be clear skies out there, and maybe you might want to hang out, lounge around, do your thing a little bit, But looking at what's to come for the next week, we might have some thunderstorms. We might see what's going on, but I'll have a lot more coming up for you here in a bit.
Thank you, Carlton. Current NABJ President Dorothy Tucker is stepping down from her role this summer, sparking an important election for the NABJ board. Tucker is an investigative reporter in Chicago and previously served as NABJ's Vice President of Broadcast. The person who fills her role will serve a 2-year term.
One of the people running to fill her seats is Travell Anderson.
NABJ News reporter Carlton Wiggins introduces us to them and shares their platform.
Travell Anderson is the first openly trans candidate running for president. They look to follow in the footsteps of Chuck Stone, Dorothy Tucker, and others who have led this organization.
I just feel like we could be a lot more hands-on and supportive of the folks who are on the ground in our local chapters, especially when you look at our local chapters. They're supposed to be like our first line of defense.
Anderson says making sure that members are heard is critical.
My first issue that I've been kind of campaigning on is around the value of an NABJ membership. I'm also thinking about, what it looks like for our organization to do advocacy work.
Anderson also wants to see more support for local chapters.
This organization has a storied history, particularly when it comes to our finances, right? And that scares people. That history scares so many of our current leaders.
Candidate Travell also has an answer for the concerns of the organization's finances.
It has the ability, I think, to open us up just to more fundraising opportunities beyond the national convention.
Make sure to check your emails from NABJ to learn how you can cast your vote. Members have until Friday to do so. Carlton Wiggins, NABJ News.
The other candidate in the race is Ken Lemon.
NABJ News' Malika Stewart caught up with him and walks us through his platform.
Ken Lemon is no stranger to NABJ members. He has been a part of NABJ for more than a decade. This week, I got to speak to him during his final moments of campaigning to learn more about his platform. After his many years of service advocating for black journalists, Ken Lemon, a 2-term vice president of NABJ Broadcast, is running to be the new NABJ president.
Well, with my candidacy, I am contributing a spirit of volunteerism. We have to be ready to get out there and work with other journalists and give a little bit.
Lemon chose to extend his career with NABJ by pushing for social action and advocacy.
We've seen this happening even before the decision on affirmative action, where we had major corporations decide to make cuts. What department did they cut? Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Lemon is addressing issues about hiring practices, fair treatment in the workplace, and equality. He's also the chairman of the Black Male Media Project. Lemon's focus is championing diversity in the media. To learn more about Ken Lemon, visit nabjmonitor.com. For NABJ TV, I'm Malika Stewart.
And for those of you who haven't already cast your ballot, time is running out. You have until Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time to vote, so it's time to act now. NABJ uses entirely digital platforms, so you'll need to cast your ballot online. For those of you who are active NABJ members, check your email for directions on how to do that. As part of the ballot you will be casting, you will be asked to vote on some NABJ constitutional amendments.
Our reporter Mayo Nicholson has been digging into what they include and what they mean for you.
The National Association of Black Journalists is one of the largest journalism organizations in America. The city of Birmingham is hosting the 2023 NABJ convention, which is set to be the 3rd largest convention in its history. This year, attendees will be voting on new changes to their constitution. NABJ parliamentarian Sia New Yorker says these changes were influenced by suggestions from the current members.
These are things that people have been keeping eyes on, things that they feel that we need to tweak or we need to amend, and so The membership, though, has to approve them.
NABJ asked for members to submit proposals for amendments to the Constitution earlier this year. Longtime NABJ member Harry Boomer says that he already cast his vote.
It's important to make sure this organization operates well. And whenever there are deficiencies or changes that need to be made, then we need to make them.
There are 4 amendments considered on the ballot. The 2 of them focus on new members and their behavior.
Now, you're a representation of the organization that you're a part of as well. So just holding yourself to a high standard, and if you can't uphold those same values of the organization, then you should, rethink your why, rethink why you're doing this.
Ballots were sent out last month, and online voting for the 2023 election ends Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm Maya Nicholson for NABJ News.
Black businesses are booming across the nation. We have where Birmingham ranks and what they need.
The NABJ Career Fair is underway, and the hall is full of people looking to hire journalists. We'll tell you all about the jobs that are available and what recruiters are looking for, coming up next.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are shared history, proud, enduring, essential. We are a powerful present, often imitated, but, well, you know the rest. We are a limitless future, opening new doors, new ways, new everything. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
NABJ is filling Birmingham hotels this week. The convention hotels sold out so fast, organizers arranged for satellite locations. How do you feel members feel about their hotel options?
I'm staying at the Westin. So far so good. I had a little trouble checking in. They couldn't find my registration, and then I had to call my bank to make sure that the money was going to go through, because for some reason my card kept declining and I know I had the money in the account.
Yeah, so I'm actually staying at the Kelly Birmingham, which is a Tapestry boutique hotel powered by the Hilton. So it's about 5 minutes away from the convention center, and I wanted to stay there just to kind of get a little, breather from the crowd. So.
I'm staying at the Holiday Inn by the airport. I booked probably a couple of weeks ago. So the main hotels were booked up, the overflow hotels were booked up. So I just had to find whatever was reasonably close, because I knew I was going to have to Uber every day over here. But it seemed like things booked up quick, so I'm a little bit I'm probably about 4 miles down the road.
Additionally, attract thousands of people. Those numbers can present a challenge for mid-sized host cities like Birmingham.
There are a few things to remember as you arrive at the convention this week. Visit the App Store and download the Event Pilot app to stay up to date on schedules, locations, speakers, and any changes that may happen. Once it's downloaded, enter the code NABJ23 to access all the information about navigating this year's convention. Be sure to use your badge number to create an account in the app to network, chat, and build your own schedule. You can also find this information online by scanning the QR code on your screen. The opening ceremony continues at the 2023 NABJ convention in downtown Birmingham, Alabama. That's where our reporter Christina Norris joins us from right now. Christina?
Welcome back. We are now at the tail end of the opening recession. So as you see, the building was filled with members earlier, and now they're going ahead and going about their day, excited for the next day of the convention. And you want to know how I know that they were interested in what the speakers had to say? I didn't hear any side conversations the entire time. As for what the speakers had to say, we had a lot of special guests. But I first want to start off with the convention co-chairs who taught us a lot about the South. I mean, I'm from Atlanta, and I didn't even learn some of that lingo, which is very important. But we also, fun fact, had a message from President Joe Biden, who thanked the National Association of Black Journalists for their work. So I'm just really honored to hear that. We also had some very special guests from Birmingham, including the Birmingham Association of Black Journalists President Carla Wade and the Mayor of Birmingham, both here to tell us all about the new developed Birmingham. You know, it's not quite like the Birmingham you might see in pictures in the history books. Last but not least, we also added some new developments to NABJ in general, including the student projects. There's a newsletter coming out, so check out for that. And not to mention Black News and Views, also founded by NABJ, with lots of opportunities and stories from Black writers. As for this building, it's pretty much almost empty, just a lot of nice chill music going on as people go about their day. All right, anchors, I'll toss it back to you.
Thank you, Christina. The Senior Vice President of the Birmingham Black-Owned Business Initiative is on a mission to fill the gaps in the community and create a, quote, stronger Black business ecosystem.
Kendra Key is raising awareness of existing resources and wants to improve access to funding and mentorship. There are programs like this already, but what about the owners who don't know where to start?
As a small business owner, you are not in a corporate environment where training is readily available to you. You really have to take initiative and really submerge yourself in the community and delve in to find out what resources are available.
Shanisha Sims Summers owns Naughty But Nice Kettle Corn. It's still in business thanks to support programs she found when she first opened it in 2014. She says businesses like hers created by Black people can lead to more opportunities for their children.
Anybody can start a business, but to grow it, sustain it, to create viable job opportunities. You typically in corporate settings, you're not seeing people of color in executive positions and people of color in leadership in vast amounts.
This is about more than just popcorn. Brookings Institution found that 53 cities with the populations with more than 1 million people inside of it, Birmingham ranked last when it comes to Black-owned businesses with more than just one employee. Birmingham Business Initiative wants to fix that.
Is to amplify existing programs. So we do have a lot of resource providers in the market, but not everybody who needs those resources know about them. So making sure that we amplify the resources that are available. Also identifying where there are gaps and figuring out how to fill those gaps.
Key is working to make that happen and encourage development of more businesses owned by Black people in Birmingham. I'm Kayla Cade for NABJ News.
On your convention weekend, I'm Carlton Wiggins, and I'll have more on the forecast coming up.
The NABJ Career Fair is well underway tonight. We'll tell you what jobs people are looking for and who recruiters are looking to find. Coming up next.
The disappointment and sadness is still fresh. So it seems like it happened recently, and I have to remind myself that it's been 10 years.
I believe that the diversity that she brings to this office is what we need as a country.
We are Latinx, Afro-Latino, Hispanic, and American.
I'm Opal Lee. Some of you may know me as the grandmother of Juneteenth.
With each Next Level Summit, we've been pleased to introduce you to journalists and leaders who are revolutionizing the business.
The most important part of what we do is to take a story and put it in perspective, make it relevant.
Storytelling is the center of what we do.
We are audience members before we are storytellers.
You can tell any story with animation, and that's the beautiful thing about its filmmaking.
If you want to come into film and TV, learn how to collaborate with other people.
We know what it takes to be Alabama's most accurate weather source. It takes the largest team in Alabama. It takes the most experience. It takes the best technology. It takes the earliest warnings. It takes a team that's on your side all day, every day. When you see the words Alabama's most accurate, there's only one team that measures up. The WBRC Fox 6 News First Alert Weather Team.
We could see some storms throughout our convention week. I guess we should grab our umbrellas.
Grab our umbrellas. Let's go now to our Carlton Wiggins, who has more on your forecast. Carlton?
Hello again. My name's Carlton. We're happy to have you here at NABJ, here for the convention. As you can see, looking over the Magic City, it is looking beautiful tonight. Man, I wish I could be out there right now. But you're looking at temperatures right now of mid 80s, and we got a little bit of humidity coming in, but not too much gusts. So it's going to be a nice little cool night. As you can see, there's not too much of an overcast. It's nice skies out there. But looking at what weather is going to be looking like here over the area, as you look at Birmingham, you're looking at mid 80s again. Columbiana, you're looking at the high mid 90s, and then Centerfield, you got mid 80s right there. But we're gonna have a low of 70s and a high of 90s, so it might not be too bad out there. Just make sure you keep water, stay hydrated, do your thing, have fun out there. Now, as you're stepping out of the door, here's what's to expect at 7 a.m. You're going to have a little bit of precipitation. It's going to be nice and cool in the morning, not too bad, not too much winds. But once you start heading closer to the afternoon, that's when you're going to get a little bit more heat. Still a little bit more precipitation, but it's not too bad. But once you start heading closer to 3 o'clock, expect some showers, thunderstorms, and a little bit more gust and wind, but it's still going to get even hotter. So please make sure you have some water by you. Just stay cool, all right? It's hot out there. So heading over to what it's going to be like for this, what to expect with the weather. Moving forward, you're going to have some rain coming in from the north, coming down to the south. But then once you go right here, looking at the weekend, it's going to be thunderstorms all throughout the week. Oh my gosh. But be careful. You don't want flooding. You don't want to have to deal with that. You want to keep the kids nice and cool, because guess what? The kids are going back to school. That's a nice little rhyme for you. But it's also nice, so just make sure you stay, again, hydrated, keep the kids cool, and make sure that you get that shopping done before you go into the next week, because maybe we might be expecting a little bit of, better weather heading into the next week. So thank you again for watching. My name's Carlton Wiggins. This is the weather for you here today.
Thank you, Carlton. One of the biggest draws of the NABJ convention this year and every year is the career fair. It's a great place to find your next job or your next employee. Employers have been setting up for a couple of days now, but today was the first day attendants got a chance to walk the floor. We talked to employers and journalists at the fair today to find out what they're both looking for.
I just wanted to meet new people, kind of get to know different stations, just different networks, and see some people that I've seen on TV reporting. I think it's just really cool. It's a great opportunity to meet with other journalists who look like me, who tell stories like me, and just get to know.
The #1 job we're hiring for this year is probably our race and democracy reporter, which I think really aligns very well with NABJ's mission.
There are about 100 different news organizations, outlets, and companies who all have a place in the exhibit hall. You can find a full list and a map of where to find each employer on the NABJ app.
We want to take you back to the breaking news we first told you about at the top of the show. For a quick update from Washington, D.C., where Capitol Police are now calling a report of an active shooter, which was probably a, quote, bogus call. That call launched a shelter-in-place order and evacuation by Capitol Police. But since they cleared the building, they said there is no threat. The chief of the Capitol Police said more than 200 officers went door to door in the Senate office buildings and searched the area around the building after that call came in around 2:30 this afternoon. They say that at this point, there's no confirmed reports of any gunshots.
Former President Donald Trump is scheduled to appear in a federal courthouse tomorrow in Washington, D.C. after being indicted on charges that he tried to overturn in the 2020 election. The charges suggest President Trump broke several laws while he tried to overturn the election. They suggest he spread lies, organized fake electors, exploited the January 6 attack on the Capitol, and orchestrated a plot to overturn the results of the election on January 6. Today, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle had very different reactions to the indictment.
There's a double standard here, without a doubt, and it's not coincidental.
This is not political. This is judicial.
The hearing is scheduled to start tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Time. We'll be covering the hearing and we'll bring you details tomorrow night on NABJ News.
The Pentagon is addressing the Biden administration's decision not to move Space Command to Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville. When the move was announced, Alabama lawmakers on both sides called the decision a political move. The Pentagon pushing back on that, saying they were just trying to get the Space Command up and running quickly.
Minimizes impact on operations and on the personnel transitions during a period in our country's history that's critical when it comes to politics played no role in this decision.
The Pentagon believes by keeping Space Command in Colorado, it can be fully operational by the end of this month. Senator Tuberville and other Alabama lawmakers say this fight is not over.
Still ahead, did you buy a Mega Millions ticket? We're still waiting on a winner, and that lucky person will go home with a whole lot of money. We'll tell you where the estimated jackpot stands tonight.
Ship delivers same day from local stores to your door, which means we see, well, a lot of doors. This fort has a super secret passcode. We're sworn to secrecy. This door hosts epic parties, and a delivery from Shipped always makes a splash. And this door, it's seen a few things. But an indoor pool party? Whatever you need, however you need it, we're at your door. Shipped, delight in every delivery.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Bienvenidos. And our top story.
NBC Universal Local, the only station group serving local audiences in English y en español. Leading the way in enterprise journalism, innovation, and grassroots community efforts, we are planning for the future, investing in our people, our infrastructure, and our communities, setting industry standards, committed to our viewers. We are NBC Universal Local.
Trusted folks, there when you need them. First with the news, you know you can count on. We're on your side. We're in your hometown. Real people. Real people. Working for you. On your side, Fox 6 News. 'Cause it's gotta be Fox 6 News. It's gotta be Fox 6 News.
Today's NABJ author showcased featured Michelle Miller, the co-host of CBS Saturday Morning. She talked about her new book called Belonging: A Daughter's Search for Identity Through Loss and Love. Michelle is a mixed-race woman who details some painful experiences in her book. She discusses losing her mother and separating from part of her family who would not accept her. She told NABJ News, quote, "Today is just an absolute extension of what the NABJ has already done to help me succeed and grow. And I'm just forever grateful to NABJ for that."
So while you're in Birmingham, take advantage of NABJ's Civil Rights Bus Tour and explore the city's historic landmarks. It's a great opportunity to learn about the important events that happened here that helped shape the civil rights movement 60 years ago. The bus tour will take place on Saturday, August 5th, but you need to register ahead of time. Take a peek at your screen for those details. Tickets will be sold through Saturday at the East Exhibit Hall from 8 to 11 a.m. Just so you know, tickets will not be sold at the door. Another drawing and still no winner. That means the next Mega Millions jackpot is one of the biggest of all time. When the next ticket is drawn on Friday, lottery experts think the jackpot will be about $1.25 billion. If one person wins, that means they'll take home $625 million in cash. That's the fourth largest prize in the lottery's history. The last time someone won that jackpot was back in April, which means the pot just keeps on growing. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening.
We'll see you soon tomorrow at the convention.